Another sort of potential applications of this discovery is activators of this pathway for treating cancer, because in cancer, the tumor cells somehow evade the immune system, and so we want to be able to sort of reactivate the immune system to recognize the cancer cells, and so basically to activate a sort of anti-tumor immune response. My name is Zhijian James Chen. I am a professor in the Department of Molecular Biology at the University of Texas Southwestern Medical Center. I'm also an investigator of Howard Hughes Medical Institute. I have always been curious about the nature and curious about everything, in fact. And I think what is really fascinating about science is that there are a lot of unknowns. And in scientific research, we will be able to do experiments and to discover something that is totally new, something that has never seen by anybody in the history of mankind. And I think that's extremely exciting. And scientific discovery is also a process of solving puzzles. So it is a very fun process. When you discover something new, when you know the answer to a puzzle, that itself, I think, is very satisfying. In research, of course, there are a lot of ups and downs, and often there are more failures than success. And I think in research, I think that we just need to have the right mindset for that. We're all prepared for, things that don't work, really to realize that this is just a natural process of research. Very natural process of making discoveries. And so, I think in research, we don't look at this as failure and success, in the discovery process, because I think every experiment is telling us something. So if an experiment doesn't work, the data is sort of screaming at us to, tell us something. And that it is not a failure. It's just a learning process. So instead of looking at this as a failure, being frustrated by that, but, really so just look at the data and then design the next experiments to solve it. I think a good researcher first of all, would be able to select the right problem to work on, sort of important problem. Of course, a lot of this is driven by curiosity, but you could also foresee, the potential impact once you solve the problem. Sort of the trait of a researcher is that to realize that doing research is a marathon, not a sprint, and you just really have to sort of enjoy the process of running the marathon and enjoy the views along the way. So enjoy the process of making the discovery. It's not just the discovery itself, it's also the process of making the discovery, which is fun. So what we have discovered is basically a burglar alarm of the immune system. And so that basically a long-standing question is how does our immune system know that we have been infected by a virus or bacteria, or if we have cancer cells in the body? And so that detection mechanism is really crucial, because if the immune system cannot detect infections, from our own molecule, then the immune system will not be able to specifically attack these microbial pathogens without hurting our own body. And so our discovery was an enzyme that we call cGAS. It stands for cyclic GMP-AMP synthase, and it can recognize DNA from viruses or bacteria or cancer cells, and then activate the immune systems to attack the infections or tumors. And so in essence is this sort of burglar alarm that we discover, and we think that this plays a very important role in how our immune system works and how we can sort of leverage this discovery to develop new therapies for infectious disease, for cancer, and also for treating autoimmune diseases. We discover this DNA sensing enzyme, cGAS, and that enzyme becomes a very good drug target for developing molecules that could either activate or inhibit this enzyme. Now there are a lot of efforts in trying to inhibit this enzyme for the treatment of a variety of autoimmune and inflammatory diseases such as lupus, arthritis, and also neurodegenerative diseases such as Parkinson's disease and Alzheimer's disease, because many of these neurodegenerative diseases are caused by inflammation as well. So there are many human diseases that are caused by inflammation, and basically, a lot of this inflammation, especially as we get old, the inflammation is caused by actually our own DNA. So when our own DNA ends up in the wrong location, meaning the cytoplasm of the cell, then there's a signal that triggers inflammatory response. And so in these cases, we want to come up with strategies to inhibit this sort of overactive enzyme that triggers inflammation. And so a lot of companies are now developing inhibitors for this enzyme with the hope that these inhibitors can turn into medicines that treat a variety of inflammatory diseases. Another sort of potential applications of this discovery is activators of this pathway for treating cancer, because in cancer, the tumor cells somehow evade the immune system. And so we want to be able to sort of reactivate the immune system to recognize the cancer cells, and so basically to activate a sort of anti-tumor immune response. And so there have also been efforts in developing so-called agonists or activators of this cGAS STING pathway for cancer immunotherapy. So these are I think the efforts in the field in sort of targeting this pathway. Of course, one of the molecules that we discover in the process is the product of this enzyme cGAS. And this product is a small molecule, is a cyclic dinucleotide. And that cyclic dinucleotide is a very potent activator of the immune system and has a very good adjuvant effect in sort of activating the immune system. So this molecule, which we call cGAM, cyclic GMP-AMP, or its derivatives, can be very good adjuvants for vaccine development.